took the thing off, it just came like showering down upon me.
Oh, it wasn't even just like normal clean water. Like it was post-use.
It was coming out of the bowl.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so fucked. Jeez.
Welcome back to Podcast the Hero.
This episode is brought to you by Cornbot, as always. If you put a corn kernel under a microscope and you zoom in really far, you can see that it's actually covered in millions of tiny little cornbots. The cornbots are programmed by farmers to make each individual corn kernel out of pure petroleum. So when you get your ear of corn from the farmer's market and you notice that the little corn silk at the top is brown, that's because it's capturing some of that exhaust fumes from the little corn bots that are manufacturing the corn. And ethanol is terrible for the environment.
Why does he pay us to talk about it in such a way?
Oh no!
Ooh, the farmer?
No, Corn Man, the maker of Cornbot.
Cornbot's a real thing, like it is.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a real sponsor
in the way that Fritzy just described.
No. It does all of like the auto moderate. It's like a chat bot for the Discord. And it does like all the auto moderation and like
it doesn't have anything to do with corn
and all that stuff. Nothing. It's just created by a dude named Corn Man, and he called it Cornbot, and it's awesome.
Sick. Good stuff.
But we don't ever talk about it.
Well, we talk about it all the time. It's just
not what it is.
Yeah.
We did have him on to talk about it.
Yeah.
So. But he did. He sponsored the podcast. It's also brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. I have to read the list of patrons. Otherwise, they wouldn't sign up. So I'm going to do that now. So there's Benjamin and Taylor and Dave the Film Guy and Jake and Bob and Josh and In Steven Exposure, Progtoff. I create my Patreon name while drunk and think it sounds good until Fritzy reads it on the podcast. Julia, Red Leather, Yellow Leather, Unique, New York. The Fat Brown Kid, Foolish Bale. I went barefoot at Fritzy's Fortress of Frigitude and all I got was this dumb eat shit and go fuck yourself t-shirt. Brett Boss Blackwood, yes, I'd be a Newfoundlander by. Spitgoth, yo, absolutely the best podcast work in progress. Roadies, Road Raging Rodent, Sebastodon, the rat that is now homeless because Roadie jacked up his butthole's rent.
They only knew.
I Swallow Cum, Source the Odd is the result of a spray fart, come to New Brunswick. Rob the Anti-Human, Peggy Thrill, Green Street, the manager at Anthony Kiedis' local Denny's, 23 hamsters. Fee, a common thread. The Pink Dink who took a drink from the sink. Zane, Rhodey loves my dink. I ate shit and fucked myself. What's next, Captain? Deconomus, I exclusively top my glizzy with ketchup. Zach, the final Dan, KH Pandas, Corn Man, Jeffrey Keenan, Mason Bailey, TBJ, Yuri, Fruit, Ashwin, and High Tops.
Woo!
That sounds like a lot of patrons.
Yeah, it's a pretty good list.
So many names.
And
you guys must be rich.
We are, dude. We gave it all to Milan.
So rich.
And actually, we gave a
bunch
of it to you.
Yeah.
Our guest today is one of our very first guests. Were you our very first guest, H?
Yeah, I was the very first one.
It's HK, the drummer of the band, for Christ's sake. How are you, H?
I'm good. I'm tired, sweaty. Just went to the gym.
Oh, nice.
In your honor, of course.
Did you do legs? It was today legs day?
Squat day every day.
Yeah,
5x5.
H is on that program that I was complaining about all last week.
That was all me.
Yeah, I mean, it is your fault. But...
It is my fault. It was the first program that I found that seemed extremely straightforward, but I wanted to go pretty hard on it. I was going 4 or 5 times a week, and I didn't realize it was only supposed to be 3, like you said to me. So I've been doing way more squatting than I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
But I really like it now.
I think it's
fun.
I think it's fine to run it maybe 4 times a week. Like obviously it's designed to do 3 times a week, and I learned that when I woke up Tuesday morning and was like, all right, what's up now?
Yeah.
Squats again? But so like it's a great fucking program for people that want to learn the like basics of fucking the big lifts.
Yeah,
right?
which I am.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's great to do if you're not doing like crazy fucking weight, but as soon as you graduate to a point where your weight is getting like really heavy, you're gonna have a lot of trouble maintaining and growing the weight every day because it is it does, what is that fucking called? The overload, the fucking
Progressive overload.
Progressive overload, yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like you just wouldn't have time to recover if the weight got a little too high.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of it. Like right before the Volition tour, I chilled out on it a little bit because I was starting to do deadlifts that were like getting into like 250, and it was like starting to hurt my fingers a lot. And I was like, I need these to play the drums. So I like deloaded like crazy with the deadlifts and the squats, and like kind of got it to a point where I didn't feel like I was gonna fucking destroy my entire body before tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like past 200 for the first time in my life. Like I realized that at that point I was like, those days where you recover and those periods between sets where you take like 3 minutes instead of like 30 seconds are like super important and not really something that you can just like power through on a daily basis. Like you got to take the time, which I didn't know, and I've been fucking ruining my back.
I feel the same way about pizza. Like you got to really, on the days that you're eating pizza, you got to take the time. If you're going to finish that whole pizza, you can't just power through. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it afterwards. You got to take your time.
You're
Honestly,
right.
I would think that if you were actually going to eat a whole pizza, you should do it faster so you have less time to digest. Because if you're taking time in between slices, you're going to fill up. You're going to be full, and you're not going to be able to finish the whole pizza.
You got to. So it's like any good workout, right? Between those pizza slices, you're filling that with breadsticks.
Okay, so you're still going.
Yeah.
I mean, as a heartburn boy who loves pizza, you really do have to just get it down there before your body realizes that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And so my go-to is just like speed. I'm not trying to like enjoy it. I'm not trying to like masticate properly. I'm just like get down there before I start a fire inside of my body.
I've been trying to get off like the heartburn medication because it's real bad for you. And
are you on like
I was like
pump
taking
inhibitor?
like Prilosec, and I'm trying to I'm basically off it, but I went spaghetti pizza back-to-back days.
That's fucked up, Fritzy.
It was rough.
That's crazy.
It was rough. I was hitting the Tums pretty hard.
Yeah. It's tough to get off that stuff. I've tried too. I'm on like pantoprazole.
Mm-hmm.
And because I just like, for all of my teenage years, I just drank black coffee and smoked cigarettes, and now my body is ruined. Mm-hmm. So I've had heartburn for like 10 years, being on this medication that's supposed to be short term for about a decade, which I'm pissed at my doctor about, because like, why the fuck did we decide that was a good idea?
Yeah.
So getting back off, it like pendulum swings, like you stop taking it and then it just gets way worse than it actually is, and eventually chills out apparently, but you have to like push through this like absolute torture for like a short period of time to get there.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
I found that when I started to wean myself off of it, I started a probiotic at the same time, and that, I mean, it might be coincidental, but that seems to have helped quite a bit.
Cool.
You started that Jamie Lee Curtis Lady Poop yogurt.
Yep, I've been eating that, Intivia. We're going to talk about the tour in a minute, but I want to start with one, a thank you for the art. I haven't thanked you face to face for the artwork that you did for our merch.
Happy to do it. Thanks for paying me.
How did you learn to art?
Man, I don't know. I just kind of always did it. I always practiced. My parents were super encouraging of it for my entire life. And it was just always the thing that I did that I guess I had some sort of proclivity for. So there was just there was always encouragement around me in regards to that. And so I just kept doing it. It wasn't really a learning thing. I have learned specific tools along the way, like Photoshop and Procreate on my iPad and that kind of thing, and learned certain techniques and etc. But it's all been so gradual and so natural that I don't really consider it something that I learned to do, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So you do use the sex app for
I Procreate.
Yeah, you do.
The sex app, I get it.
Yeah. Yep. I procreated the design that I made for you guys, in which it's a dragon, but it's both of your heads on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Which is one of my
Fritzy was
proudest.
worried that we might have looked a little too much like dictators of the past.
Somebody also said that I think it's the style of the hats. Said that to one of the people who bought the shirt, was like, what are you, a communist? I was like, that's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, I always got marks on the brain, dude. It just must have
it's
slipped in
perfect.
there. Yeah.
It's perfect. I also I'm trying to learn to art. I'm really enjoying the shit out of it.
That's awesome.
Ever since I got this iPad and I get the little pencil thing, and now I take it with me everywhere, and I'm constantly drawing and everything.
Are you gonna ask him
That's
to
great.
critique your art?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm going to say, how do you, when you're Procreate and Adobe are similar in terms of how they function, ish, right?
Ish.
They both are.
H disagrees.
But I mean, they both have a billion tools to choose from.
Yeah.
Which is massive tool overload for me. And I find myself just wishing if I pick a 2B pencil, that it sets the color to be the graphite of a 2B pencil, instead of me having to plug it in and figure out okay, what's the exact shade of gray that I want this to be. Do you, I'm sure you have winnowed down your tools to a select set of tools that you use all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I typically, for graphic design kind of stuff like I did for you, I typically use grain shaders from this company called something that I can't remember.
Love that company.
It's a True Grit Texture Supply. They make really good stuff, grain shaders and basically fake pens, fake pencils, fake paintbrushes, all that stuff digitally. That's very, very convincing. I really like their stuff, so I typically use those things. And yeah, my process is kind of become streamlined to a certain point. So yeah, I'm not super I'm not starting from scratch every time. I kind of have a general idea of how I'm going to start doing something pretty much every time, which is essentially just a rough pen brush and just black on a white piece of paper, and that's it.
Why is drawing hair so hard?
I don't know. I'm so good that it's not something that I think about. No, drawing hair is hard.
My notes say no one can draw hair, realistic hair, well. And the people on the internet that say that they do and show pictures of like these really like photorealistic portraits and stuff, it's all a lie. They're all grifters. It doesn't actually exist.
I don't think hair exists.
Not for me.
Look at all these hats. You look at this fucking group of miscreants here, and you could not tell me that hair exists.
Yeah. I mean...
no, don't even touch your face at all.
It's too late.
That's just drawn on.
Yeah.
It's got texture.
Which disproves your theory about people not being able to draw it. Look at this. Right here.
Yeah.
I drew that.
I'm
assuming you drew that mustache.
Shook yourself.
What is that stuff that like sometimes you see like bald dudes that are like bald but like trying to like fight it, like they're shake that fucking
like
hair
sawdust on their fucking head,
and it's supposed to like stick to the existing hair and make it thick.
Yeah,
it's the Donnie Wahlberg stuff. It's what Donnie Wahlberg puts on his head to make it look like he's got hair.
The things that balding dudes do to try to not be balding is like it's really astounding to me.
There's this guy I work with on a regular basis that I just every time I see him on like a Zoom meeting, I'm like, dude, just cut it. Just those 6 hairs that you've got evenly spread out across the top of your head are not doing anything.
Yeah,
give up the ghost, bro.
As soon as my hair started to thin out, I was like, shave it. This is done. Because there's nothing worse than being that dude that's just like holding on to it and trying to like lie to themselves and have everyone in their lives lie to them about how much hair they do or do not have. It's just like, I'd
much rather see somebody rock a toupee, to be honest. Like if you're that, just put a toupee on it, man.
Maybe we should bring back toupees.
It should.
Yeah.
Speaking of going back to the art stuff, I just want to mention that we do currently have a contest going on the Patreon to win a free Eat Shit and Go Fuck Yourself t-shirt. The HK's design on that t-shirt. All you have to do is join our Patreon at any level, including free. That's fine. Go to the contest giveaway post and comment why somebody else, anybody else, it could be a fictional person, it could be a real person, alive or dead, deserves that t-shirt more than you. And we will, Rhodey and I, will review them, and we will choose the least deserving person to get the t-shirt.
I take it based on the fact that we haven't chosen a winner yet, and you bring it up week after week.
Yeah.
There have been 0 entries.
No, we have. We've got some entries. The end date. I'm getting my calendar up here. I'm announcing the end date officially. Is on September 17th at midnight Eastern time.
Oh my God! Wasn't that exactly when the second plane hit?
Stop it.
I didn't say. Yes.
I'm honored to be on the 9/11 episode.
Yeah. It's not released on 9/11, but it's recorded on 9/11.
Yeah.
23 years ago today.
Did you guys see that Biden said yesterday that he was going to do 9/11 tomorrow?
He was going to do
today.
He was going to do another one?
Yeah, yesterday he said he was going to watch the debate, and then tomorrow I'm going to do 9/11. Like again?
Wow.
Wait, did 9/11 just become a verb though? Like like I get what it means. Like I'm gonna like celebrate the memory.
That's it. Is that you'd think that the president of the United States would specify?
He doesn't quite have it.
I mean,
no, I know he doesn't,
know.
And it's really quite entertaining.
Maybe he means he's gonna do a 9/11 somewhere else.
He's always doing a 9/11 somewhere else.
I know.
Every goddamn day.
That's an accurate statement.
It's true. It's always 9/11 somewhere.
Yeah.
God. Okay, let's talk about the tour, and we're going to talk about Newfoundland at the end.
Okay.
So we'll talk about stuff before that, and we'll talk about Newfoundland at the end.
I listened to your last podcast, by the way.
Oh
yeah.
God. Wow.
And Just out of curiosity, I guess.
Morbid curiosity.
And you only talked about Newfoundland like throughout the whole thing
Yeah.
until you begrudgingly talked about the rest of North America for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Lightning round, and then talked about Newfoundland some more. It was great. Newfoundland was fantastic.
It was good. Wasn't it?
We're not talking about Newfoundland right now. We're talking about that at the end.
We're going to talk about it.
So
Okay, we'll talk about it at the end.
How do you explain this picture? How do you explain that?
I was eating cottage cheese out of a small cup and throwing up the peace signs in victory after having played a great show and eaten my cottage cheese. Also, I lost that t-shirt. I can't find it. It's my favorite shirt, and I'm really sad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. MS Paint. I'm going to see them tomorrow with Gel, which is why I couldn't do the podcast tomorrow.
Why is that photograph so silly?
What are you talking about?
It's like the shape and size of that photograph is real weird.
That's a pretty standard photograph.
It's a
They're all that
Polaroid.
size. They're all that size, see?
No, why? But why?
Romulus.
What did those come out of?
A real camera.
Stop it.
That's what they look like in the physical realm.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So, H, what was your least favorite show?
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
Do you need me to fire off some dates?
Yeah. Give me some cities.
So we started in Detroit. We had some like weird technical difficulties.
Yeah, that was fine. It was the day one, you know.
Yeah. Shaked off the jitters. Shooked off the jitters. Is it shaked or shooked off?
Shooked.
Shooked
off.
Shooked.
In reference to jitters, it's typically shooked off.
Yeah. Then we were in Milwaukee at that X-Ray Theater. Remember that?
Nope.
We were in like an apartment upstairs at the venue.
Oh, I do. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I knew that.
That place was fine. That was cool that the staff was playing Propaganda, even though none of us asked them to do that.
And then after that, they played Belvedere.
Yeah, which I cared about less, but Propaganda was cool.
It was like they were just doing like a weird like prairies fucking Canadian punk rock thing.
Yeah, it was interesting. I guess they're like in that neck of the woods, and they would subscribe to Fuck the Border, so it's basically local bands for them.
True.
Also, that place, they said there was like a slaughterhouse nearby, and that's why it smelled like fucking bacon, which doesn't make sense to me because I don't think they would cook the pigs at the slaughterhouse. It's very weird. So
that was weird because they said it was a slaughterhouse, but like it smelled like delicious smoking meat.
Yeah. Also, I left. I'm not bougie about like a lot of things, but like a couple things I am. I left some very expensive body wash in the bathroom of that apartment upstairs.
Oh.
So any band that plays there, whoever gets to it, should take that and enjoy it because
What was the body wash?
It's Salt and Stone, and it's very nice.
It's made
like a bag.
Sea salt and concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just exfoliates the fuck out of your skin.
Wait, so you left a like bag of liquid in the shower there?
Yeah, exactly. No, but it like comes in the bag, like it's a branded bag. It's not just like a loose bag.
It's a Ziploc bag full
like
of
a
goo.
sandwich bag, yeah.
Yeah. So any band that rolls through there should enjoy that on me. They're gonna smell really good for the next few days. Or the next few hours, I should say.
Days. So then we played the Fine Line in Minneapolis. I can't remember that day.
Yeah.
I remember walking somewhere and having to Google Fine Line to find my way back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what the venue was like.
I need like a little spark of something to remember anything from any day of my entire life.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can't just like conjure up like what happened. Unless I had like a good ass coffee or I left something expensive at the venue, I won't remember.
So I know I went to a Target alone.
Okay.
And I found that Mary Tyler Moore statue. And
I don't remember any Mary Tyler Moore statue.
Did
No,
you
yeah,
know Target is
'cause I was
from
alone.
Minneapolis?
Fair.
And we went to this place apparently.
Where the fuck is that?
Remember we sat outside and it was like
Oh, is
it
it the brunch place?
We had like egg stuff, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that.
But I still can't quite remember the venue.
No, the brunch was good.
The brunch was delicious.
It was quite nice. Yeah. Moving
Then
on.
you went to Seattle.
Seattle.
The crocodile.
Yeah, Crocodile was sick. We got to do
Yeah.
laundry. That was very nice.
Oh,
That
H-
venue is just like so much better than anywhere else I've been in Seattle.
Yeah, I agree. You mean like music venue wise, or you mean just like period?
Music venue wise, but maybe also period.
Yeah. I went to a really nice Army surplus once in Seattle,
Did you?
I think.
They
I
have
think
that
so.
cool bridge that goes like right down onto the water.
I haven't been on that. I've been to like what's it called? The like harbor front area where like the first Starbucks is. Which
Pike
is
Street or
stupid.
something.
Yeah, it's bad coffee there. Shocker.
Yeah.
And I went there with Bobby on the Fortress tour
Oh, Bobby.
way back.
Yeah.
It was the only thing we ever did together. I haven't spoken to him in years.
I haven't spoken to him either, but I really did like him.
Yeah, he's a good man. I see him playing basketball on Instagram every now and then, and that's what I remember about Seattle.
Bobby plays basketball.
Yeah,
You
former
went to
tour manager, Bobby,
not
that is.
Sacramento.
Rosedale,
Roseville.
Roseville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that place.
You do hate that place.
I'm
that
glad we
was a
got to go to
lovely
the
day.
gym that day.
Yeah.
That was nice. We got to go with Woj. I think that was the first time we went to the gym with him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
For sure. And
Yeah.
potentially the last.
I hope we get to go again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
Our driver.
Our driver Woj. Oh, we
Matt-
should have
Matt
Woj
Woj.
on.
Yeah. Why am I here? That's crazy.
Sorry, H.
Better in every way.
We'll call you right back.
Also named
But-
Matt. We're interchangeable.
Yeah,
The Matthews of the world.
that's true.
Yeah. Or maybe Woj and I will start a podcast and we'll have you on.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
Woj, that'd be cool.
Woj.
But yeah, we went to the gym and saw how strong one another were.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
That's
obviously.
true. Yeah.
But they only had like Smith machines, which was fucking annoying. Was that
Yeah,
that place?
I think that's consistent across Anytime Fitness. Like
Yeah.
I think they're just Smith machines. Because remember
Useless.
when I asked that guy, like I was like, "Is there any like proper benches, or is it just the Smith machines?" And he kind of like acted like I was the biggest moron
was-
on earth.
He was very indignant about it, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's a super normal question to ask.
She's like, "It's Anytime
Yeah.
Fitness." So I'm like, "Oh, sorry, man, I'm not from here or anywhere." Actually, there's an Anytime Fitness.
There's Anytime Fitness in like every single city. But,
Can you
We
go
don't
there
go.
anytime?
I honestly doubt it.
It's got to
I
be
doubt
the
you
one
can.
I drove by one today, and it's got a sign that says 24/7.
Okay, fair.
I think you might be able to go anytime.
I just remember specifically asking at that place, like what time it would be open till, because we were thinking
yeah.
about going back to shower after the show, etc.
And it closed at like 7 or
Closed
something
it.
like that.
It closed at 11,
Oh.
7, 11, whichever.
Yeah, whatever it was, it rhymed.
Yeah,
Liars. False advertising.
yeah. So I don't believe that it is in
sometimes
fact
fitness.
Anytime Fitness. Yeah,
Sometimes fitness.
anytime that it's convenient for us, fitness.
Oh, because you know what I was just thinking? It's like showering is so much easier and more accessible on tour now than it's ever been. And I
Yeah,
was thinking, like, why the fuck? And then I remembered as we were leaving the bus that day, Ben was like, "Hey, Woj, is there enough water on the bus to have a shower? Because there's no shower in the venue." And
Yep.
Woj was like, "Yeah, I guess." And I said, "I hope he gets in there, gets wet, soaps up, and runs out of water." And that's almost what happened.
more or less what happened.
Mm.
I think he tested it before, so it was to not play himself.
Yeah.
It would have been funnier if that happened, but because it was Ben John Davis, I'm glad it didn't, because I don't want anything bad to happen to him ever.
Not even just a little?
A little bit, but there are people that I would rather bad things happen to for my amusement. You know what I mean?
Good point. That's a good point.
Like that would be funnier if it was like you or me or
Yeah.
Henry or
Yeah.
Tim, like anybody.
It would be fun. You know what? Because like we might not even find out about it if it's Ben.
Right?
Yeah, because
He
it
just wouldn't say
wouldn't be a
anything.
problem. He'd just figure it out.
Yeah.
He
You
just
know?
towel it off somehow and
He
smell
just rolls with
strongly
the
of soap.
punches. Yeah, exactly.
Then you went to San Francisco.
Was that the place that we went to, that diner? Is
Yep.
that San Francisco?
No.
That's San Diego.
Maybe
San
no. It was San
Francisco.
Francisco. It was San Francisco because
Was
it was
it?
cold.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I woke up in the morning. I was like, "Where are you guys at?" And Sandra was like, "We're at some coffee shop. It's a fucking hike." And
Which
then I
was
like,
pretty
"Oh,
good.
It's a hike. That means HK took them there, and
Yep.
then I met you there,
Uh-huh.
and that was right beside Mel's Diner.
That's it. If the coffee place is far away, you know it's because I insisted on going there.
Yeah.
Because I do stupid things to get good coffee, including walking like 20 minutes past 5 other coffee shops to get to a place that, strictly based on vibes, I assume will have good coffee. And 99% of the time, I'm correct about it. In that case, I
don't-
was.
I don't remember the last time you were wrong. I mean, if you're wrong, it's like this is like there have been like that one place in Winnipeg called Sisters or something like that.
Yeah,
You were wrong.
that place
but
tricked us.
It was like this is the only place around that looks okay,
Yeah.
and we went there, and it was not. It was not at all.
And then to our earlier point, later that day, we walked 45 minutes to go to another good coffee shop.
And it was good.
It was really good. That one I knew, like it's one of my favorite roasteries, but that was a long walk. It was a nice
I
walk.
love that you call it a roastery.
It is.
That's
a
what
roast.
it is.
A roastery chicken.
No, but it's like it's not. They don't just like
rotisserie.
make you. They don't just make you coffee. They also roast.
They roast the beans there.
Yeah.
They're like
Rotisserie
with,
coffee.
with special wood
yeah.
that they
I don't
cut
know.
down from the California
Redwoods.
redwood forests.
Yeah.
That's
how they
also
make good
where
coffee. It
that-
all comes from the redwoods.
that's where Rhodey and my brother compared
Penis
Dinks.
sizes. Yeah.
Cool.
Fritzy's brother was at that show.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys talked about that. I heard you
Yeah.
talk
Alright.
about that.
You said
Yeah.
you listened to that episode. I was
Yeah.
just testing you.
Yeah.
Then you went to
Did
San
I
Diego.
meet your brother?
I don't know. Probably. Maybe. No. I don't know.
You said he was in the back room, but we were hanging out with Grieg that
we were
night
hanging out with
too.
Greg. He wasn't. He didn't come in the back room. He was just like hanging out after the
okay.
show. I tried to get him to come in the back room at one point, but
Mm.
he said that he came earlier that day and he couldn't come twice in a day. But no, but I did. I was like at one point I was like, "Yo, come with me," and he just like didn't follow.
I think he
Oh.
was too scared.
He was like, no, he was too scared to follow you. See,
Yeah. He was very
That's funny.
intimidated. He like
Hey,
I don't know. He's
Look
a
at this
huge
man.
fan. He is
Look
a
at that jug.
huge fan, and he
That's the Mammoth Mini.
that's a sick jug.
he
Isn't it all right?
I like
he's
that.
the one that introduced me to protest way back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's
so
cool.
like, early on I was very busy like throwing stuff in his face about like hanging out with protests and stuff. And, like, ha ha ha.
Fair.
So,
You took his thing.
yeah, I did.
And he'll never forgive
Completely.
you for it.
I completely. He took so many of my things. Let's be honest.
So he
He's
had it coming.
2 years younger than me, and growing up, like one summer, he took my best friend.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a bad summer
Yeah.
when I was
So this whole thing is just
8.
revenge
Yep,
for
just
that.
payback for that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like it if that's what it was. Like, turns out Fritzy doesn't like the band.
I don't
anyway.
never even heard of the band.
Fritzy's
Yeah.
like, my brother likes this thing. I'm taking it from him.
Your friendship with cheese is a revenge ship with
Mm-hmm.
cheese.
Yep.
That would be the greatest gift you could possibly ever give me.
I think he has.
Fuck, gifts. I forgot about gifts.
That's all right. I didn't. It's great. It's always the best when you forget, because that means I get the chance to win.
Yeah.
I mean, even last week when you forgot, you still beat me.
I did win that, actually. Just
Such a pain in the ass.
What was it last week?
Last week was the pre-post workout formula that I created, but then since it was from the makers of the testicle cream, he claimed ownership of that, so technically the gift was from him.
Yeah, I stopped listening to the podcast about 10 seconds into that because I was like, this is just about over and this is fucked what you're saying right now.
Yeah, that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Pre-post workout makes sense.
There was a lot of like animal and stuff being talked about, and I just was like, I've listened to most of this podcast by now. I've supported my friends. I think I can leave.
Ground pickle, bull testicle, powdered yak semen, octopus ink, and purple.
Very cool.
Very cool. After that, we were in San Diego.
Right. I don't remember
which is
anything.
Spanish for.
Oh yeah, we were just like in the fucking parking lot all day. We woke up and we went to that weird nursery / coffee shop.
Okay, yeah, had some fun, like ube oat milk latte shit. Just drank a purple vat.
That may have been the weirdest place I've ever been.
It was so, it was so like try hard millennial fucking expensive shaken espresso drink bullshit. Like
millennial core to the fucking bone. Like,
that was the most millennial core shit I've ever seen.
Like there was a lineup out the door and it was in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And like
it was in that weird like industrial area.
Yeah. And
with nothing else.
There was like it actually was a nursery, Fritzy, like not like they sold
not for
plants.
Children, for plants.
Yeah, they sold plants.
Yeah.
And it was like in the back of it, it was like fucking this huge warehouse of plants, and then like that's where the bathroom was, and on top of the bathrooms there was like this like stage kind of thing, and there was just like a DJ who was fucking like rolling hits and shit. It was fucking weird.
That was weird as hell. But Woj was really happy. Yeah. I've realized the kind of coffee that he likes is not coffee at all. It's just like, I mean, there's coffee involved, but like, unless there's like four other things stuff in it, he's not happy, which I respect. Yeah. And it's totally fine.
I love that how hard he experiments, and it made me kind of want to do it, but it wasn't really anything that I had that I was like that stoked on. Like he does cold brew with lemonade in it.
Yeah.
And like I had that. It was okay. But like at the end of the day I was like, yo, this is like dumping a fuckload of sugar into my coffee, whereas I would rather just have like a black cold brew and like get the flavor of the coffee and the effects of it.
Yeah. It's just not necessary. By the way, something going back a few days that I just remembered is that we went to Twin Peaks on the way to Seattle, which I got to shout out Woj for because I've been trying to go there on tour for like fucking a decade or whatever. And there's just like never time, or it's like not quite on the way or whatever. But like it came up one day and Michael Kelly was like, oh, well, like maybe we can go, but like, you know, we'll have to get up early, and I'm not sure and whatever. And Woj was just like, nah, we're going. It's taken care of. And he just like knew how stoked I was about it. And so he like made it happen, which is really sick. And so I very much appreciated that. Twin Peaks is one of my favorite shows, and going to that little town where they shot it and like going to the diner and getting breakfast and going to the falls and stuff was like one of the sickest little like tour bucket list things that I wanted to do. So very nice to like check that off, and gotta shout out Woj for that one.
Is that in Idaho?
No, it's like Washington State.
Oh,
is it? I can't remember what the place is called. It's like Snoqualmie or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's a sick little town. Like there's not a lot going on there, but it's like really nice and like mountainy and a little rainy and just good air.
Henry just like fucked off to a different restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say anything. He was just like, all right, peace, and then just like walked the other way. And then I tracked his location. He was just at a different restaurant.
He just like seemed like he was doing something shady. Like he was
Yeah.
like meeting somebody, and we couldn't know about it. That was the vibe that he was putting off.
That's true. Like, he didn't say what he was doing, but when I looked
Yeah.
at his location, I was like, he's just at a different restaurant.
I think like what your theory was, which I subscribed to, was that he just really needed to take a shit, and
Oh,
he just
yeah.
he just wanted to like do that alone
Mm-hmm.
without us, which is fair. But he
spent
missed
a lot
out
of
on
time.
like a great little experience.
Yeah, I've never seen Twin Peaks. After doing that, I want to. I don't know that I would.
I'm not sure if you would like it. I don't know. It's not a definite no, but
I love super like fucking. I love Super Cult, the
yeah,
band. I was gonna say I love super culty stuff, and then
yeah.
and I love Super Cult, so I had to. But I love really like cult classic kind of stuff, so maybe I could get into it. Like,
It is very much that, yeah.
how,
David Lynch is just so weird. It's like either you're all the way in or you're all the way out with his shit. Have you seen any of his movies?
did he do Beetlejuice?
No, no.
I
He
don't know.
did.
Maybe
No.
Cage makes me watch a bunch of stuff that I
He
don't.
did
always
Eraserhead, which is
Okay.
super fucked.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
if
I've
you've
seen
seen that one. I feel like you'd know if you'd seen it. Regardless.
Irregardless.
Irregardlessly,
Like,
Twin Peaks is cool. I love Woj so much in general, but for making that happen.
yeah.
And now we can go back to San Diego in the weird millennial coffee shop
Right.
/ nursery. That was the only thing that happened that day, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because we couldn't like that where Soma is. You can't really get around.
Hmm.
Like, do you remember the last time we were in San Diego? We were at a different fucking venue.
It's that like 3 floor
Yeah. Like there was
where
a
Weird Al was there.
yeah,
Yeah.
not Weird Al Fritzy.
No, no, no. It was.
But like
It
I mean
was.
that's like a 1 degree of separation.
Yeah. No, it was actually crazy how much that person looked like Weird Al.
Yeah. And Weird Al
Wait,
posted that person
was-
on his Instagram
I
story.
know, and
was
not
this
me, and I'll
on
never
Halloween
forgive
is for
him for
always?
that.
Yeah, it was on the
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah.
Oh
for
my
Always
God,
tour,
so many
and
Weird
this person
Als.
was dressed as Weird Al, so we gave them the award, and they came up and took a picture with H.
Because I was dressed as Weird Al that day
Right,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, and Weird Al ended up posting a picture of this person, not that picture. That would be
Okay.
incredible.
Weird Al absolutely snubbed me, and I will never forgive him because he did a fucking collage of like everybody that dressed up for Weird Al as Halloween, and I was not in it, and I was so mad.
Dude,
And
I'm
I
gonna
will
find
be
that-
mad for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna find that picture of you and Weird Al like right now, and I'm gonna fucking Instagram
Post it and
at
send
him
it to
from
Weird
the
Al.
Protest Hero account and be like,
Yeah.
"What
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck, Al?" I'm not gonna
Please
swear in
do.
it because we need to give him. The
That's his whole
opportunity.
thing.
We need to give him the opportunity to make things right.
Exactly. His whole thing is that he doesn't swear. He doesn't need that to be funny.
He can be
So we
quite
should
crude,
play-
though.
Yeah, probably.
Like he in the Forrest Gump song, he goes, "Your ex-girlfriend Jenny was kind of a slut," and I kind of think that's like worse than saying fuck.
It is. It definitely is. That's a weird move on Weird Al's part.
Yeah, I remember my mom did not love when I would sing along to that, and I can't blame her.
Honestly, one of my favorite Weird Al memories of my entire life
Mhm.
is when we were driving back from playing Heavy Montreal last year or the year before, and we listened to that drive-through song, Trapped in the Drive-Through,
Yeah.
and just like all fucking lost our minds laughing for like 9 to 10 minutes. I'd never heard it before. It was so fucking funny.
It's so fun.
It's incredible. It's a sleeper hit for sure.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I've been listening to Weird Al for like my entire life,
Yeah,
which
but
is
you
why
didn't
I'm so
keep up,
pissed at him.
Right?
Yeah. And but I'd never heard that one. And a quality like Weird Al parody at this juncture is worth its weight in gold for sure.
So like it's not even like particularly new because that's not the first time that we've had that experience. Like there was like back when Riff was in the band, we were on tour with As I Lay Dying in Europe, and Arf was like, I really want to check out Weird Al's new record, Poodle Hat. And he put on that song, and we just sat in the back of the bus and pissed ourselves. I feel like
that one's on Poodle Hat, eh?
I think that was on Poodle Hat, yeah.
I've never listened to that one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting too locked into looking for a picture
cool.
of you here.
Are you a UHF fan?
I actually only watched that for the first time like 2 years ago, maybe. But yeah, I loved it.
It's one of my favorite movies from my youth.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I love that. My beginnings with Weird Al was that I used to rent the his tapes from the library.
Oh, hell yeah.
In like 1997, 1998. Running with Scissors and Alapalooza and maybe one or two others. And I just fucking love them. And Like a Surgeon was the one that really got me.
Like a surgeon.
It's an incredible hit. I like it more than the Madonna song.
There's
100%.
several Weird Al songs that are better than the original, for sure.
I would say so. Some big ones. That fucking Star Wars Episode 1 song that's like American Pie. That one, way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way better. Like, I don't care about Vietnam and like all that shit. Like, Star Wars.
Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
Star Wars is the better
Star Wars
war. Of the two wars,
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
those
there's
two
the
wars,
Vietnam War,
Star
there's
Wars
Star Wars War.
is the better war.
And you know
Exactly.
what? Those were the only wars.
That was it.
I can't find that picture. I'm furious about it.
That's okay. I'll find it and we'll do this like tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Because now that you put that out there, I need this to happen.
No, yeah, I found a couple pictures of you as Weird Al, but I need the double. And you know what? Like, if we have that person in there that was like crazy accurate, it's gonna tempt him. Let's see if we can tempt Al.
We gotta tempt Al into this.
Did you guys ever realize that Weird Al is a play on Normal?
Yeah. Weird Al.
Not a whole lot of people recognize that.
To be honest, that was maybe like maybe in the last like 3 years that occurred to me, but I do recall that occurring to me and being very proud of myself for
I remember that it occurred to me sometime in the recent past.
Yeah, I can't find the photo either. We'll get it.
After San Diego was LA.
Yep. That was typical fucking LA. 1720. Love Brett. Love the Human Abstract boys.
What about Necrogoblicon? They're partial owners as well.
Nepo Goblicon?
Nepo Goblicon.
I hope there's a fucking rich kid in that band and that is actually a real thing.
They're from California, aren't they? They're probably
there's gotta be.
Nepo Goblicon.
Or necrotism.
Yeah, true.
Whatever that could mean.
That sounds scarier to me.
That sounds way scarier. That
Honestly,
sounds
I
like
think we should start
that's
a band
something that
called
you could get.
Necrotism.
That's something you could acquire from another person.
Mm-hmm. They're both good options. Nepo Goblicon is good though. Yeah. But yeah, that day went and did some walking around with Woj. We went to some fun some fun stores and coffee shops and shit, but we had to like Uber like 45 minutes away from the venue to get to anything.
Yeah.
And like it was kind of worth it. But barely. And then, so to go anywhere or do anything, you have to spend about an hour and a half of driving in the day if you're playing 1720 because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Which is fine, you know?
It just
Henry's
sucks
family
'cause-
was great.
Yeah.
His
It just
family
sucks
and
about that
friends.
venue because it's like a good venue. They treat you so fucking well, but it's
Totally.
just like the location, dude. The
Mhm.
location.
The location is dog shit.
Yeah.
It just is. But actually, I got to shout out this guy. I believe his name's Evan. On the Halloween tour, um, we met him at one point, and he was wearing a Brain Dead shirt. And I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." He was like, "Oh, you play Magic?" Because it was like a Magic X Brain Dead thing. I was like, "No, I just like the brand, but like I think Magic the Gathering seems really cool, and like my older brother played it, and like I tried to play it when we were kids. Seems super fun, but I didn't know much about it." He's like, "Oh, you should get into it." This time around, he came back to the show, and he, I guess, like is the manager at like a comic books and card shop. And he like brought me like a bunch of like Magic card booster packs. He's like, "Take
Sick.
these and fucking get into it." And it was like,
that's fucking sweet.
it was so sick, like such a nice thing. And I still haven't opened them, but I'm going to do it soon, and I'm
do it.
planning on giving it a shot because it seems super fun.
Can you gamble in Magic at all? Like, I mean, when you're fucking
if
around
you
with Magic,
could, I
it's
would.
always a gamble, but
If you could, I would be
a little
way
bit
into it.
motivated.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's got to be a way. You could even just like bet on who was gonna win a match or something. Like,
Dude, we should figure out how to play Dungeons and Dragons with
Yeah.
money. Just like, I don't know, $20 pot, like first one to fucking spill their dragon seed or whatever it is.
I'd be spilling dragon seeds so fast.
I know, dude. I can already see it.
I think you would have to like make bets like based on what very little I know about Dungeons and Dragons. You'd have to make it sort of like football, like who's gonna like kill the most fucking goblins, or like who's going to like there
prop
has to be like
bets.
categories, and you
Yeah.
have to like make little bets on multiple things. But there's got to be a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put some research in. We'll
I'm
figure
into
it out.
this. Yeah, gambling will get me like into anything.
Oh, yeah.
I was the other day I was hanging out with some friends, including Clum, and we're watching football, which I don't give a fucking shit about.
Yeah.
But I was just there to hang out with my friends. But the thing was that everybody else had a gambling app open on their phone and were gambling money, and I realized that it's like they don't care about football either.
No.
Like in as far as the sport is cool or good or whatever, it's all about the gambling.
Yeah.
And
would
so
say
I think
if
that
you
I could
took-
get into it.
Yeah, if you took the gambling out of football, it's probably the least popular sport
Yeah.
on earth.
Yeah.
No, it's 100% why football is as popular as it is the gambling
That
and the
tracks.
fantasy.
That tracks completely. Because yeah, it's a fucking insane sport. Like the power with which these men are destroying one another is like bananas.
Sustainable?
It's you're not leaving football without like a concussion and a like just like a broken spine.
Yeah.
Is it? It's odd that like the most gambled on sports, right, are boxing and football, right?
Mhm.
Like boxing's
That makes sense.
popularity was driven almost entirely by gambling,
Wow.
and football is popularity is driven by gambling. It's
Yeah, boxing seems so much less noble when you think about the fact that everyone's just putting money on it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like two people beating the shit out of each other
Mhm.
in an attempt to make one person or another some money,
yeah.
which is kind of sick.
Yeah, but also like kind of like archaic, like fucking
Yeah,
like think back like gladiator times without the fucking like
totally.
without the sheen that we've put
Without
on
a
it.
lion trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to bring like some lions and like naval battles and shit back in, you know? Do some real Coliseum shit.
Hell
I'd gamble on that for sure. What were we talking about?
The tour. Where were we? We were in San
We were in
Diego.
LA.
We were in LA.
We were in LA.
And then
gotcha.
now you're in Denver.
Denver, we got to hang out with Dez.
Yep.
That was sick. He made us a bunch of fantastic pizzas in his fantastic pizza oven. Truk's there right now.
Truk is there right now.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about in regards to that, but he's...
We're not talking about it, but we could.
I mean, that's up to you. Truk's hanging out with our engineer friend right now.
Yeah, he's just... Our guitarist, Truk, is just hanging out with our engineer friend.
For no
Dez.
particular reason.
Yeah.
And for no
he forgot
reason.
He forgot his guitar, though. It's right there. You can see it. So...
We talked about last week. Truk doesn't know how to play guitar anymore. He just can play Guitar Pro.
He doesn't even
That's
know
all he knows how to play.
He doesn't even know how to put a guitar in a case and bring it with him.
Yeah, he just knows Guitar
It's right
Pro.
there.
All he needs is a laptop. He's essentially a DJ. He's essentially a DJ at this point. He just needs a laptop and he's good to go.
Yeah, honestly, true. He just presses spacebar and that's it.
Yep.
He is wildly good at Guitar Pro. He's built an entire company on it.
That's true. I gotta think that Guitar Pro. Yeah, sorry.
I'm gainfully employed because Truk knows how to use Guitar Pro.
Yeah, I gotta think Guitar Pro is pretty happy about the existence of Sheet Happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The two are like mutually beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that that we would be responsible for a lot of their use in general based on like the amount of products we have and like how like diehard fans of this type of music are about playing guitar. But from our interactions with them, I think that it goes far wider than us, even though it seems like we kind of like are responsible for like a large part of it. And I'm sure like it's not a completely insignificant part by any means. Like we have like a deal with them where like people can get like a discount code on Guitar Pro through us, and like there's like a relationship there, but at the same time we ask them to like do stuff for us and they tell us to go fuck ourselves a lot of the time.
I'm sure they're just sitting there going just keep giving these boys scraps. If they know how important they are, like they'll just
Maybe.
They'll ask for too much.
It's possible. It's quite possible.
But
yeah, so
you got stuff to say about Denver?
Denver, that was one of the worst shows for me.
Oh yeah.
Shows that I disliked the most, but not for any reason outside of the fact that I didn't play very good. But, we all have those. Just I think honestly, looking back on the tour, I think at the point at which we hit Denver, that was when the like shitty sleep started to catch up to me.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed like little inconsistencies happening in like playing that were like just like for no good reason. Like I was playing this perfectly like 3 days ago, but I think I was just starting to get kind of gassed from like that dog shit bandwagon sleep. Yeah. Also Denver, completely aside to this, a very positive thing was the Army surplus store where we got our overalls.
Oh yeah.
That was a big day.
I wear my overalls. I love them.
So
go ahead, Fritzy.
No. I want to hear your.
He was changing the subject.
No, I wasn't. This is definitely related.
I love my overalls so much, even though they are directly the reason that I smashed my phone into a billion pieces.
Oh yeah, that
because
night.
right before that set, I was wearing my overalls and feeling like $1 trillion, and I had my phone in the front pocket here. But we were about to go on, so I go in the bathroom to take them off and change into like my show clothes. I whip off the strap, and just fucking throw that down and absolutely just pummel my phone on the concrete floor, just smash the back into a million pieces. And I had to like gaff tape the back up so they wouldn't get shards of glass in my fingers. But I still love the overalls.
It sucks too because the fucking announcement of the like new iPhone was just like womp womp.
Was it? I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, they announced it yesterday, and it's like it's nothing, dude.
Yeah,
they didn't
do anything. They just changed the name.
Yeah,
it's that's not surprising.
Like the whole thing is supposed to go around like the Apple Intelligence thing, but it's like it's not ready.
That's been like kind of the thing that Apple does lately. And another thing that Apple does lately is use child slavery in the Congo. So if you can avoid buying Apple products or buying the new iPhone, you really should, because that shit is like absolutely genocidal. And I say that beside an iPhone and using an iMac to shoot this. But, that's the world we live in. However, if you can avoid it, you should.
I was going to ask you about overalls. So,
you have any thoughts on overalls, H?
as a drummer, you generally wear shorts.
Yep.
Could you be convinced to play drums in shorteralls?
Easily. I almost wore my overalls at that show. And I kind of regret not doing it, and I bet that if I was wearing them, I would have played better than any other show on the tour.
That's true. I remember trying to convince you not to wear them. Like, you were dead set on it. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, you're sitting down and, like, they're pulling on you.
Yeah. Honestly, the mobility felt surprisingly good, I will say. And I might give it a shot while I'm practicing up for the second leg of the tour. I might just do an overall set and see how it goes.
And that show actually, like, that was the perfect show to wear them. I
know.
I should have shut my mouth. It wasn't particularly hot.
That's okay, We can't win them all. Sometimes you say some dumbass bullshit that ruins everybody's night, but
that's true. That's true.
Fine.
My second follow-up question to drumming in shorteralls. Are drummers who wear pants while drumming sociopaths?
No, and I say that because I used to do that, but only on the first PTH tour that I did when we were in Australia, which is a hilarious place to do that. All of my show experience leading up to that had led me to believe that you could wear pants and play a set. And so I did, but that was absolutely not something that you can do with Protest the Hero, because it is just like a ridiculous amount of kick. And you're basically just like putting sandpaper to your legs by doing that.
Yeah.
By wearing jeans and hitting the kick drum 10,000 plus times in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you remember the amount of kick drum hits in the set that
I do, because I've brought up this anecdote like many times at this point, because it seems like a really good way to explain just how fucked this set is. So one night, Jonah and I decided that we wanted to know how many kicks were in the set, and he records every night, and he's able to do this thing where basically you take like a waveform in your recording software and split it into every separate transient, which would be every separate kick hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ran that on it and then like selected them all so that it would like count the number of waveforms, and it was 14,200 kick hits in 80 minutes, which is fucking like ridiculous.
Dude, what's really funny to think about is like there's probably like fucking, I don't know, maybe 22 kick hits in there or something like that, where we're just in between songs and like something happens and you just go boop 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 boop.
Yeah, I do. Every time I realized this because I was actually listening to one of our sets because my friend Sam was doing a test mix on it, which sounds sick, by the way. And every time you say something that I agree with, I just like hit the kick like 4 or 5 times. The only way I can say anything up there.
That's true.
But I'm just trying to back you up.
No,
wait, they don't give you a mic back there to?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's mics all over the front of the stage. They don't put a mic back there for you.
There is a mic back there, but it goes just back to Jonah, so he could pick it up and be like, "I agree with that, Jonah." And then Jonah could come through. Jonah could come through the PA and be like, "HK agrees."
Yeah. HK says that that's a valid point that you just made. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Denver was good.
After Denver, then you were where? Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago
was good. Chody and I went to a really sick coffee shop.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah, where we got some really nice espresso over ice. Sat down, sipped on that. Super good on a hot day. It was called Dayglow. And we were leaving and we decided to get a drink on the way back and looked at their menu and they had this weird acronym drink that sounded really fucking good, and I looked at and I recognized the acronym, and it was the title of the new Knocked Loose record. And so I guess that they partnered with that band and made this crazy black sesame coconut oat latte thing that was the best fucking drink I've ever had.
Yeah, it really was.
And so we rocked a couple of those on our way back to the venue and had just a really nice hang. Just drank our little Knocked Loose drinks, and it was fucking great.
It's fucking cool.
Honestly, I've never I don't want to call it coffee. I want to call it a coffee drink because it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not coffee.
But it was it's the best coffee drink I've ever had in my fucking life. I was shocked.
It was the "you won't go before you're supposed to," whatever kind of drink that was.
I was also shocked when you fucking recognized the acronym. You're just looking at that guy and you just went, "Does that stand for you won't go before you're supposed to?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, dude, I fucking Michael Arati, the previous PTH drummer of many years, he and I have just been losing our minds about that band for I've listened to them for a really long time, not to be that fucking guy, whatever, but I've been trying to get
before they were cool.
Yeah. But I've been trying to get Michael into them for years because you'll fucking love this band. And he's just I don't get it. And then they put out a couple songs that were just just techy enough and just heavy enough that it finally sunk in. And now he's obsessed with their entire catalog. And he and I went to see them with our friend Neil in Montreal, and it was the craziest, sickest show. And they're fully on board. And I was texting them while we were drinking those drinks. Yo, I'm drinking the Knocked Loose drink. They're that's fucking sick. The riffs are so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, Chicago was that. Chicago, good venue. We played Call of Duty or some stupid game like that for a minute.
Yeah, we played local multiplayer Call of Duty.
On who was the account that was there?
Oh, yeah.
It was the guitar player from Mom Jeans or something, left the PS5 in the venue, signed into his account. And so we were playing on this dude's account, and I guess our tour manager, Michael Kelly, knew him somehow, and he messaged him on Instagram and told him that we were
I sent him a fucking
right
picture from the protest account. Was we got your shit. We're gonna spend a bunch of money on Spider-Man costumes.
Yep. And we never did we?
No, but he was really cool.
Did he get back to you?
Yeah, he got back to me.
Oh, nice.
And he was just thanks for not spending credit card shit. And I was you can't.
That's so funny.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We tried. We definitely tried.
But we didn't sign out either. It's still there.
Yeah.
So some less understanding band is going to get in there and fucking ruin this guy financially on Call of Duty skins.
After Chicago was the Grog Shop in Cleveland.
Grog Shop. That was good. That was nice because, you broke the curse or whatever.
Yeah.
Of your vocal issue. I remember that show on the Fortress tour, because on the Fortress tour I was drum teching for Mike. So that's why I was there. And yeah, you were just like sounding like you were trying really, really hard, and it was just like not working great, and that caused
honestly,
a lot of issues.
I didn't even really know what was going on until Chase came in my ears and was like, "Yo, stop, dude."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck."
Yep. But yeah, so I think myself and everyone else are just like happy that like you kind of got that closure of like this, it's like not just this place or not an issue that like I can't get past or whatever. It's like you came back to this spot and you're like singing better than ever, and it's just like everything's clicking. So I know that like how much kind of power like those kinds of things can have over you when you have an association with a place, and like it can be hard to push past that kind of stuff. So it was really nice to see that happen. Yeah, the coffee there fucking
I'm trying to
sucked.
get that way with my bathroom.
You got a bathroom
Every
problem,
time I
Fritzy?
walk by that toilet, man, I just start sweating and getting all anxious.
Because it's just a tough time in there for you?
Yeah, always. Just I've had some bad experiences in there.
That's your grog shop, man.
That is the grog shop.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with that is all I can say. I'm rooting for you.
How is the coffee in Cleveland?
Dog shit.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's some weird like second wave like friends ass hippie bullshit that like just remember?
Oh yeah.
It's very like live, laugh, love, but in a like granola kind of way that just like, I will say that there was a lot of like free Palestine posters and like that type of shit all over that coffee shop. So that part of it was nice. That like they seemed like kind of like a place in the community where people could like talk about important things and like platform important things, but their coffee was dog shit. So are they really helping the cause by not getting anyone to come back there? I'm glad those posters were up, and that's the best thing about that place. Also, there's a bookshop there that I love that was just down the street that Morgan from Good Tiger, he and I went there on the Fortress tour, and we bought each other our favorite books at the time, and it was very cute, very fun little thing that we did, and that's when we became like good friends. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I do love him.
I was going to say, as soon as you brought up Morgan from Good Tiger, I was like, oh my God, I forgot he was a person. I love that guy. He's great, but
he's the best.
I forgot all about him.
He's just like off in his own like world. I think he's like a cinematographer and like seems to be doing really good. Loves Diet Cokes just like me.
Diet Cokes is good.
Pepsi's better.
You're fucking wrong. Okay, so this is something that was happening on the tour that has like continued into like my real life, and I'm like, are we like going back to like the Berenstain Bears timeline or something? Because like Pepsi is everywhere and it's like pushing out Coke. I also think, I just heard this today, that there's I can't remember who it is, but they're making like a Coke versus Pepsi movie.
What?
Like, yeah, like how like there's the brand movies?
Right. Brand movies are like the big thing right now.
They're doing like it's called like Cola Wars or something, which is fucking insane.
Pretty sick though.
But they're making that movie, and part of me is thinking like Coke and Pepsi are obviously both like partnered on this, which is ironic.
Yeah.
And it could be the case that to hype this up, they're trying to like make Pepsi seem more powerful than they are, because they're not where Coke's at. Like no fucking shot.
Of course.
And so I think like in reference to this movie, in which they're going to be heavily relying on online discourse of people just commenting like Pepsi's better, Coke's better, whatever. Like they're going to get so much of that, and they need to like fuel the fire by like having Pepsi seem like more of a threat to Coke than it actually is. And
God, I feel
Pepsi
like-
sucks, Fritz. It
Dude,
fucking
Pepsi
sucks.
is the way better tasting.
No, it's not. It's
yeah,
not.
it really is.
I feel
It's
like
not
that
even
could be
close.
the intro to this fucking movie.
Um,
Just like three shitty
Right
guys
here.
on a podcast.
Sandra and I had this conversation
Legit.
as well because she's a big Pepsi.
She was
loves-
propagandized into Pepsi.
Yeah, she
man.
really
Like,
was, man.
That was circumstantial.
I've always Pepsi.
She comes from a place where they fucking Coca-Cola fucked them.
Which is fair.
And-
Not that they fucked them, that's how they feel about it.
And then Pepsi came in. They have no choice but to love Pepsi.
I
Yeah,
think
I understand.
for me, my love
You
of
have no
Pepsi is
excuse.
that like we had McDonald's all the time as a kid,
Yeah.
and
Say
McDonald's is a Coke
McDonald's
shop.
again.
McDonald's. That's not how I really say it, but like McDonald's. All the time as a kid. But the real treat was Taco Bell. And Taco Bell's Pepsi shop.
HK hates Taco Bell, dude. like,
I do.
really hates Taco Bell.
The
So
only time that I've got food poisoning, like for real, like a couple days of like just vomiting nonstop, no food down, nothing stayed. Like one of the most terrible times of my entire life was a Taco Bell. It was Taco Bell from one of those Taco Bell KFCs, the split ones,
yeah.
which I should have known better.
Yeah.
But I ate like a fucking Crunchwrap Supreme or something, and I fucking paid for it.
The only good Taco Bell combos are the Taco Bell Pizza Hut. So you could get pizza and tacos.
I feel like I would trust that more
Yeah.
than Taco
I
Bell
don't trust
KFC.
Kentucky Fried Chicken at all, ever.
Kentucky
Never
Fried
either.
Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chickens.
Yeah.
I don't ever. That's not on my...
Yeah, I won't do that either. And I haven't eaten Taco Bell since that, and I will not eat Taco Bell because I'm too scared.
Taco
Nacho
Bell's
Bell
pretty
Grande,
good, dude.
baby.
It's pretty
That's
good.
See, the thing about it is, I know, and I was introduced to Taco Bell as a small child via the Godzilla 1999 commercial.
Oh, fuck yeah.
With the Chihuahua,
Mhm.
and he's like trying to catch Godzilla, and he's like, I think I need a bigger box.
It's probably
When I saw that,
Dun-dun-dun.
hell yeah.
Right?
I fucking loved that movie when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
It was like one of my favorite movies. And it made me really want to go to Taco Bell because that's how like commercials work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you like Godzilla? Maybe eat some tacos. I was like, yes.
Of course.
Absolutely. And so I did. And the drink that I was under the impression that you were supposed to drink with Taco Bell because of that commercial, I think, was Mountain Dew. And I did that, and that seemed like a perfect combination to me. Pepsi, I don't know. Get the fuck out of here.
It works for me.
Yeah, it's
If I was
Baja
gonna eat
Blast,
Taco
man.
Bell, yeah, Baja Blast too.
Which is a Mountain Dew.
Is it? I thought it was. Oh, I thought that was
It's Mountain
Sprite.
Dew Baja Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the Sprite one that I'm thinking of?
Squirt.
What?
Squirt is grapefruit soda. Like,
Oh.
who came up with that?
Isn't that Ting?
What? Ting?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Newfoundland. Are
Newfoundland.
you do you prefer a Newfoundland night 1 or a Newfoundland night 2?
Night one, 100%.
You like
I
it
heard-
sweatier more than raucous?
Yeah. So, Cheese mentioned this on that last episode. Night one was just immaculate vibes. Just like everyone was so stoked, having such a good time. It was just like, it was fantastic. Night two, there was just like a core pit of like 20 dudes who were the drunkest dudes that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it just like really bummed me out to the point where I was like playing the set, and I was literally like playing the songs and watching these guys. And I was like, I think I might quit alcohol. It's just like, I was like so bummed out. I'm not gonna quit alcohol, and I didn't
course.
that night. But I also thought about it after the fact, and like those guys sucked, but like while I was playing, I was like trying to like look past them and see the other like 200, 300 people, however many people you could fit in there that were like just normal and just like having a sick time. I was like, it's not fair of me to like not be stoked to play for them too, but it was just like so literally front and center.
Yeah, yeah.
These just like dudes who just like wanted to like hurt each other. Like this is not what it's about, you know, and like playing like Mist to like all these Newfoundlanders and like night one, there's like it was such like a beautiful time where like they're so appreciative of that song and just like the fact that like bands like cared and appreciated about them enough to like do something like that, and there's this really like reciprocal thing. And night one, it was just like one of the coolest experiences ever because I've never like played a song for a group of people in that direct way that that song was about. And like it's a really neat like relationship that the band has with the place. So that was so cool. And then the second night was just like it was like everyone that I could see, it was just like they were fucking zombies. Like you could have been singing about fucking Vancouver and they would have been the exact same way. Like they're just like too drunk for like any of it to matter, and sweaty drunk dudes like hurting themselves and everyone around them was just like, this is fucking shot. So everything else about Newfoundland was like fucking perfect. I love that place. I'm really excited to go back, and next time that I do, probably that we do, I'm gonna spend like even more time there because like I feel like I just kind of scratched the surface.
Was that your first time going out there?
No, it was my second time. But a similar amount of time. And the first time that I went there was also with PTH on the Kazaya tour. And I got screeched in, etc. But I think like one, the weather was pretty bad, and it was kind of like just like to the venue, to the Airbnb that we were staying at. Not really getting to do like too much in between, but also I was just like immensely hungover. Like just we got there, we got fucking drunk, hungover all day, played the show, got way more drunk, was hungover and played the second show, and that was kind of it. It was like a blur. It was my 25th birthday that we were there the first time. And so I was just like automatically raging, and like the people there are so nice. They're like giving you 1 trillion beers, and like if it's your birthday, they're giving you 2 trillion beers. And so just like I said, immensely hungover, and like did not get to appreciate any of it or experience any of it except for just people being like really nice. So I was like, that was cool. But like I didn't really like kind of get into it and like appreciate it as much. But I think also having our photographer Sandra out, who's a Newfoundlander, who you've talked to a couple times,
Yep.
Was like extra helpful because she kind of like ingratiated us with the place and the people in like a way that I didn't experience the first time I was there. And so I think that's kind of part of it, is like when you get to know some people there and then they show you the place. It's like it's different than if you just like go there and just kind of look at it for yourself through like some super touristy goggles.
More
Yeah.
For sure.
Truk spent one of his birthdays there as well.
Oh yeah?
And he was telling me a very similar experience. Like everybody was buying him shots and shit, and then they went bowling or to some other bar, some fucking shit.
Yeah, Truk loves bowling so much.
But he said he walked up to the bouncer on the way in, and he was like, "I am more drunk than I have ever been in my life. It's my birthday, and people keep buying me shots. Don't let me in this bar. I'm a liability. Please, like deny me access." And then apparently the bouncer just slapped him on the back and went, "Happy birthday, man."
Oh, that's so funny.
He's just trying
That's
to
some
get out.
Newfoundland ass shit. Yeah. Truk loves bowling to the degree to it's just to like hit on that point really quickly.
Yeah.
Every single sheet happens staff function. So for anyone listening who doesn't know, I'm the graphic designer of Sheet Happens. And I've worked with Truk for like here specifically for probably like 7 years, which is fucking wild. But every single staff function, like staff party for Christmas, Truk's birthday, like anything that requires him to decide what a group of people are doing is bowling every single time. And it's in the exact same place. There's this 5-pin bowling spot in Leslieville in Toronto called like Shamrock Bowling. And I think it's legitimately Luke's favorite place in the entire world. It's just any excuse to go there. Any excuse to go there, he'll take it.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. It's his element.
Also,
for sure.
5-pin bowling is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
5
cool.
pin is wild.
They're just like a tiny little
Yeah.
like
I feel like it's actually harder.
Ball maybe,
smaller,
I don't know.
the pins are further apart.
Honestly, like I haven't done anything but that for the last 7 years because the only time I go fucking bowling is when Truk wants to go.
True.
So that's
what?
it.
I
I
think
can't remember normal bowling.
I think Truk's gonna love the grave. I feel like when
Being
he gets,
dead?
yeah, when he gets in there, he's gonna be like, "This is just right. I can't believe I waited
Oh, yeah.
so long."
He's just finally gonna get the alone time that he wants.
Yeah.
He'll have Colin, his dog, buried with him, and
Oh,
then
for sure.
that's
Buried
it.
alive.
Buried alive with him.
Both of them.
But yeah,
Both of
yeah. Well, because it's got to happen at the same time. Otherwise, he's not gonna be happy.
That's true.
So, I have a game for us to play.
Okay.
But before we get into the game, I have one specific drumming question.
Oh,
Sure.
good.
Does your foot, your entire foot, fit on your kick pedal?
It could, yeah. I think more or less.
Is that part of the process? Is like using different parts of your foot on the pedal to kick quick?
It can be, but it's not for me.
Okay.
I don't. So there's that technique that's called heel toe, where you like basically you push down with your toe, and then once you release that, you drop your heel and it gets a rebound. So you go like did it. I don't do that shit. It's like, either like very good, like fusion-y kind of drummers, or like, I mean, you can use it in any context. It gets used in death metal a lot to do like ridiculously fast, like double kick stuff too. But I just like, just straight up like heel up, just like, just raw dog the double kick shit.
That must fucking just absolutely pound your calves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's become a problem
14,000.
Yeah.
I was
exactly.
sitting at my little e-kit,
Uh-huh.
and I was just fucking around before we started, and I looked down. I was like, I wonder if like I'm hindered because my foot, like only half of my foot fits on the kick pedal. Like my feet are so huge.
That's so funny.
Like,
Yeah.
is it a problem? Am I doing this wrong? Because
It's not.
I guess not. Okay.
No, you just have to do like heel up, basically.
All right.
Yeah. Or you could
That's
get
all.
a longboard, which is like there are pedals that do have a longer footboard. But they're very expensive, and honestly, I think you'd still have a problem because you're a giant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for our game, I wanted to know. So your last name is Kidby.
Yep.
I wanted to know how much you know about another famous illustrator and artist, Paul Kidby.
Oh yeah, I know Paul Kidby.
You do?
I know of him. Yeah.
Okay, so I have some questions.
He does the like Terry Pratchett art.
Well, so now you've fucked the game. He's known for his. So the question one is: he's known for his illustration of what famous book series? Lord of the Rings, Discworld, Game of Thrones, or Penthouse Forum?
Discworld.
Discworld. Before Paul Kidby began doing illustrations for Discworld, they were illustrated by who?
I don't fucking know.
Here we go. Here are the names.
Okay.
Josh Kirby. Terry Pratchett himself. Maurice Sendak. Or Enoch Bowles.
Enoch Bowles?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Enoch because I like that weird-ass name.
Yeah, that's a
Enoch
weird name.
Bowles was a famous pinup artist in the
Cool.
1940s.
Very cool.
Maurice Sendak did Where the Wild Things Are.
Okay.
Terry
Classic.
Pratchett was the writer of Discworld, and Josh Kirby was the illustrator for the first 26 Discworld books.
Interesting. So just change the one letter.
Yep.
Yo, what the fuck is Discworld? I'm looking it up here.
It's
Some,
a flat
crazy-
world that exists on the back of like two
A
elephants,
turtle or
which
something?
balance on the back of a turtle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so Kidby is like a very obscure last name. And so I think like we're not related to that guy at all. But someone in my family, probably my mom, like found an art book of his stuff and was like, that's cool. It's like a quote unquote famous Kidby. Like we'd never seen that in the world, like out there before. And so we got that book, and then like my older brother just like got into the Terry Pratchett books, and now my younger sister's reading them, and apparently they're really good. I have
a bunch of them in my. I have a bunch of them in my Audible account.
Are they good
to listen to? I haven't started them yet.
Okay, yeah.
Bluest of Skies made me.
Are
get
they
into that.
free?
No.
Oh.
There's 41 of them.
Oh.
41 books.
I bet there's some free ones.
Yeah, it seems like a really heady, really convoluted fantasy situation, which is like not really my thing. Like I like fantasy stuff, but like it just sounds like too much work, you know?
What did Paul Kidby do before becoming an illustrator? Was he a high school art teacher? Was he the lead designer at Sheet Happens? Did he make fake teeth? Or did he sell vacuums door to door?
I'm gonna say made fake teeth because that's the
That is
weirdest
100%
one.
what he did. He made fake teeth.
That's crazy.
Which of these? Oh,
that's
go ahead.
scary for you, Fritz.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
yeah, not a teeth guy.
No.
You got nice teeth though.
No, I don't. I hide them. I have
Oh, do
terrible
you?
teeth. They're
I thought you had
broken
nice
and-
teeth.
No.
You don't have to show me. You can show
No,
me.
I don't want to.
His teeth never show. That's why he
try
grows
to
his
hide 'em all the
mustache so
time.
long.
I thought you had just like really normal teeth.
I do. I have normal teeth. They're not like all janky and weird. I had braces and
Yeah,
headgear and stuff as a kid and
you
retainers
just don't
and all
like
that.
teeth.
I just
Full
don't like
stop.
teeth. Full
All right.
stop. Like it's
Fair.
all.
No
Which of
further
these video
questions.
games? Which of these video games did Kirby not design covers
Kidby.
for? Kidby. What did I
Come
say?
on.
Kirby. Kidby.
Kirby was
Which
the
of these
original
video games? Well, the
Josh
video
Kirby.
game Kirby.
Josh Kirby, of course.
Kirby's first name is actually Josh, the Nintendo character.
Yeah. Which one did he not do?
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Earthworm Jim,
Oh, fuck
or
yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl?
Huh. I'm gonna say Sonic because that would be some Japanese name for sure.
It's Toe Jam and Earl. He did Sonic the Hedgehog, he did Earthworm Jim,
Whoa.
and Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Wow.
The original? He designed it,
Mhm.
or just he did?
Like he designed
No.
all the like the game covers
Yeah, for the
of
US.
the
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the packaging design covers,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I don't believe
okay.
you.
He didn't create the character of Sonic the
I
Hedgehog or
Googled
Earthworm
it.
Jim, I don't
Yeah.
think.
All of them? Like the originals?
He
Yeah.
couldn't have. He couldn't have.
Well,
You can look it up.
I'll take
I
your
looked it
word
up.
for it.
Cheese, I just sent you your gift.
I got it.
If you want to share it, or I can share it.
Did you just like Venmo him $5 or something?
Yep, that was it.
Oh,
That's a pretty cool gift.
yuck, dude. I hate this. I mean, it's not.
What is it?
It's just supposed to be a young version of me. Why are your characters always so square, dude?
Wow.
I mean, why am I in like a dungeon?
Why not?
I never was in a
You were
dungeon.
super edgy.
I guess.
In the dungeon.
The dungeon, yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't look anything like me as a kid.
It
looks
looks
like
exactly like you.
I'm being so ungrateful, dude. This is a great gift. I'm sorry.
It's not. You hate it. It's okay.
Clearly a terrible gift. If you're
Something
gonna
about it's just
react
sitting
like that.
something about it's sitting wrong with me. I don't know what it is.
There's everything is wrong about it.
The glasses are so strange.
They're very oval.
Yeah.
It looks like some weird librarian, like woman that's been like
It does look like a
put
woman.
in
For sure.
a weird fuck you tank top that she would not normally wear.
Yeah, this looks like a middle-aged woman for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
What,
If you
what
take
was your
the-
reference photo?
If you take the hair off of it, it looks, and the glasses, it looks almost exactly like your kid.
Yeah, you told me that last week. You were like, I was drawing you, but I just ended up drawing Tootie.
What is here? Let me find the reference photo.
You know what? I don't like looking at pictures of myself younger anyway, so just don't.
You don't?
bother.
Why not?
Yeah, because I look like a little dickhead. And there's lots of them. There's too many pictures.
Oh, it's like
I've
one
seen a few
is
pictures of you as a little dickhead.
like a
Yeah.
picture of you. You got long hair when you were young,
Yeah.
and then the other one is like a. Let me see if I can just hide all the other layers. This one. This was another reference photo for that.
That was, first of all, that was a picture that I sent to my brother-in-law. I'm not sure, like I sent that to him via text. I'm not sure how you have it. And it was like last summer.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I was sending him pictures of myself in various bucket hats to show him how many bucket hats I had. Why do you have that picture?
I love that.
I don't know. You must have sent it to me for some
Oh, for
like
a
a
thumbnail or something.
thumbnail. Yeah.
That tracks.
So, anyway.
I wish I had pictures of myself as a little dickhead. I've been trying to find. I was telling my friend the other day about the fact that I used to have Liberty spikes.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were like out to here, and it was punk as hell. But I don't have any physical proof,
Yeah.
and that is
Yeah, all the
upsetting to
pictures
me.
of me when I was younger all would be on film. So
Yeah,
there were no digital cameras back in the 1980s.
Yeah, probably before people smiled in pictures as well because you had to pose for them for so long because
Yeah, they're holding up that thing with the
yeah. I love that people used to not smile in pictures. It just like didn't occur to the first like I don't know, thousands of people.
yeah. There is a young picture of me in Rhodey's room right now.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't want to see it. He's naked.
I'm nude
I don't want to see that.
on a big wheel.
I don't want to put
Pretty
it on
sure.
the internet. I think I get
Oh,
it.
is he like
sure.
is it like a child?
Yes.
Yeah, don't
A
put
very
that on the
small
internet.
child.
Take
Yeah.
that picture, face it down, and
Oh,
leave
you
it
think-
there.
You think I ever lifted it up? The moment I found it, I put it face down. You can't see his genitalia or anything like that. He's wearing
Okay.
he's on a bicycle and he's wearing a football helmet. It's funny,
I'm on a big wheel.
Okay, that's good.
but I'm still not going to show it because the internet's full
Don't
of perps.
show it. Don't show it.
I just found, as in just a couple months ago, but you just reminded me of it, a photo of my dad as a kid.
Oh yeah,
And so this was in like the 1920s maybe, or 30s. He was old as fuck.
yeah. First, he's thinking about it being like,
Yeah. He would be like in his 80s at this point.
Yeah, my dad too.
Yeah.
Was born in 1934.
Crazy. But he's like 4 years old with like a cape and boots and a bucket on his head. and he's smoking a cigarette.
Oh,
And it's fucking crazy. He legitimately just like has a lit cigarette in his mouth, and it's the fucking funniest thing. They played fast and loose with the cigs back then.
I'm sure it was just someone was hacking a dart and they were like, "Here you go, put this in your mouth. That'll be funny," which is still something you wouldn't do today. But
I don't know. Yes, but also I feel like in Australia in the 1930s, they very well may have just thought that like cigs were just good for you.
That's true.
That's what all the
And just
commercials
giving them
said.
to kids, yeah.
Now breathe it deeply into your lungs.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's time.
H, you have to sign us out.
Eat shit and go fuck yourself, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, you did it.
He's done it.
It's already done.
Woo!
You can also take a picture from your...
Is he she?